Okay, so we have another patient in sick bay today, so we'll crack open the case and take a look. As far as I know, we had a quick look at this guitar briefly. I was actually in a car park at about 8 o'clock in the morning, so it doesn't really count as a real assessment. But it's a Martin JC16 or RGTE Aura. Now we know there's a big crack along one of the sides that we're going to take a look at, and in general it's just showing a bit of wear and tear and needs a clean up and a setup. And we've got some scratches around here on the pickguard we'll take a good look at. But in general it's not in terrible condition, but it definitely needs a good cleaning. And you can see that I'll do a close up on this now. There's a big crack going alongside here on the upper bow, just up along here. And yeah, some scratches and dings, and a lot of lacquer has come off on the neck. The player himself says that he sweats a lot, just like Rory Gallagher did, and it's taken a lot of lacquer and a lot of dings and scratches, so we'll do our best if we can to smooth it out and just see what we can to try and bring her back to a new lease of life. So here's a close-up of this crack. Now this area has been repaired before. It was attempted to be repaired, and it's just sitting ever so proud of the surface, and you see the gap wasn't closed properly. And as we come around, see the crack actually gets a bit worse. You can see there's movement in the wood when we squeeze it, and when we press down it extends right the way around to about here. So what we're going to do is we'll get this leveled up just like that, so you can't really feel it anymore, and keep pressure on both sides as well, and try and heal this. And then whatever gap is left we'll try and grain fill and stain back to copy as much as we can to the original wood. This is going to be the big part of the job, getting this repair done. We'll be gluing some cleats of wood on the inside and pulling them tight with the inner surface to bring everything level. And then, as we said, other repairs are like down here. We'll try and scrape as much dirt as we can out of these gouges, and try and maybe again stain the wood, or just keep it clean and maybe get a flash coat of lacquer or something on top to try and help cover that up. We've got some scratches here as well. These are similar scratches, but as you can see they're a bit cleaner, so we might just have to put some grain filler maybe, or we'll just some lacquer to stop them getting any worse than they are. And just in general, we'll give her a general setup. We'll level crown and polish the frets, and give her a general clean up, and so that'll be our work for the next couple of days. So another item on the agenda for cleaning will be this area here, just in front of the pickguard. It's got a lot of marks and scrapes, but you can see already, just giving it the lightest of touches, it's taking a lot of that dirt out. And once we do that to the whole area, we should get a better idea of exactly what we'll have to do. You can see there's some chunks kind of taken out of the lacquer in places as well. So what we'll do is we'll take all this dirt out, and then we'll probably just do a flash coat or something of lacquer on top, just to try and clean it up and get it back more to what the actual wood colour should be. Or if we end up having to go down to bare wood or anything, and we can restain it then, just to get it back. But even we can see scraping it here, once we're taking it back, it's already starting to look better and to match the wood again. So there's a few little spots like that on the body we'll have to do, and as well as our internal crack, and then just the general setup. And here are our frets here, and you can see we've got lots of deep notches and dings and stuff like that, especially on the lower strings. So again, we're going to do level all the frets, crown them, and then we'll polish them as well. Okay, so we've just put some small portable lights inside so we can see what's going on with the crack. And the very first thing we notice is, if you can just see in the centre of the screen now, is duct tape. So the previous attempted repair had been done with duct tape. I'm trying to see, can we get a better angle in there for you to see, but yeah, that's duct tape. Not a good start, so we'll have to get that out of our way just to see if there are any problems with the wood inside. and if not, we'll start to proceed then. Here you are, duct tape. So we've managed to pull some of this duct tape off. As you can see, that's what was inside the guitar. But it seems that this duct tape was put on while the glue was still wet, meaning that it's absolutely welded to the inside of the guitar. Not going to be too much of a problem. We're going to be putting some wooden cleats over it, but it's annoying to have it there, and hopefully it doesn't cause any issues for the glue to bond to the inside. Okay, so in order to repair this crack properly, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to drill some holes in the side of the guitar. What we're actually going to be using is this teeny tiny little hand drill, and if you just see, if we move in here, you can just about make out the shadow of the actual drill bit there, and it's literally just about 0.5 millimeter or so. It is absolutely tiny. So that's the drill we're going to be using to make some teeny tiny holes in the side of the guitar, and I'll show you exactly why we're going to be making those holes now. So what's going to happen is we're going to take our teeny tiny little drill bit and put some very small holes in the side of the guitar, right where the crack actually is. So it'll be going through the crack, so to speak, kind of, so it won't actually be cutting into any of the actual wood of the guitar, other than where the crack is. And we've also drilled these small holes in these pieces of spruce here. It's probably even too small for the camera to pick up. And what we're going to do is we then thread a high E string through that. So the high E string goes through the hole in the side of the body, and then we'll go through this cleat as well. We tie a knot at this end, and then we clamp it from the far end outside the body, and it sticks this to the inside of the body where the crack is and stops the crack from moving. We'll also be clamping the guitar on the top and bottom as well, putting pressure there as well, and it'll mean we'll level up the wood and try and close the crack as much as we can. Okay, so rule number 1 of guitar building would pretty much be like the Hippocratic Oath, you know, rule number 1, do no harm. But in this case we actually are going to make a hole in the side of the instrument, but it's not one that's going to be seen, and when the glue goes in and when the crack is repaired and when we stain the wood in the area and put some filler in and all, you'll never even know the hole was there. So as I said, we have our teeny tiny little drill bit here, and we're just going to make a small hole right at the edge of the crack just to get us started. So as I said, this is only a 0.5 mil drill bit. It is absolutely tiny, and even going through this rosewood here on the side, it's going to take a bit of time because it goes so slowly and is so small. And as I said, by the time we're finished, the hole won't be noticeable. So there you go. The hole is partially through and you can just about make it out there. So here's the clamps we're going to be using on the side, and if they look anyway familiar, it's literally just a guitar tuner, 2 pieces of wood and just some cork to stop it rubbing off the body. And we've got a very small hole just here for the string to go through, and then we can wind the string to tighten the clamp, and that'll press against the outside of the guitar. We'll use our cleat then, will be the other side, and the string will just pull them in tightly together, and that will close the gap and hopefully repair the crack. So as you can see here, we've threaded a low E string through the guitar, pulled it back out through the body, and it's just being pushed through one of the cleats here. So what we'll do then is we'll tie a knot just here on that end of the cleat, and when it goes in, we'll press up against the body, and we'll put some glue on it, and then we can put our extra clamp that we've made just here on the outside, and that'll press in on that side and pull everything together. So that's our cleat with its a knot on the end here. So we'll glue up this side, and then we'll pull everything together, and we'll use our clamp then on the outside to put some extra pressure on it. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a messy glue up, but I'll try and give you a decent angle and show you what I can, and I'll just show you the first one being done, then I'm just going to go ahead and do the other. There's probably going to be another 3 or 4 cleats we'll have to do on the side, and I'll probably just put them in off camera, and again we'll clamp top and bottom as well while we're doing this. And I'm just going to try and hold on to this as long as I can as it goes through the body, so we're not leaving any blobs of glue anywhere that could cause problems. And I'm also feeling inside the guitar to make sure that the orientation of the grain of the spruce piece that we've put in is perpendicular to the grain on the outside, so that it doesn't just pull straight through or break or anything like that. I feel that seems to be seated okay. Now we'll just so there's our clamp in place on the side of the guitar, and you might just be able to see down, maybe, where the string just passes through between the cork, just there, between the cork and the body. And that should hold things together nice and tight and get them nice and flush. And we're going to move on now and try and deal with the rest of the crack along here. It's kind of strong here on the bend. The wood is naturally strong there, but we might still have to do another couple here and then a couple at the end. So here's where we're at now. We have 3 clamps in place so far, holding the crack together and pulling everything level. And already this area here now, which is the next section that we're doing, already feels a lot flatter. So the wood has definitely been pulled flush again. So we're going to leave these on for overnight, and then we're going to come back and we'll do this next section here then, which again already feels like it's evening out a bit because the wood has been straightened. So that's where we are so far, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll do the next section here, and then we'll get on with our cleanup and our setup of the rest of the guitar. Okay, it's a difficult angle to see, but you can see the cleats just up there on the inner wall of the guitar, and they're doing their job now. So hopefully that'll keep things nice and straight. So it's the next day, and we've taken the clamps off the first part. The body is nice and strong there now. You can put a lot of hand pressure on it and it doesn't move at all. And we've also clamped up the second section, as well as clamping the top and bottom together at the same time to keep everything nice and level and aligned. So we're just going to take those clamps off and do a final assessment of the crack. And we'll probably end up just putting a small bit of filler in where the line was and taking that back down to level, and maybe adding some stain or something like that to the filler as well, so it all blends in. Okay, so we've gone ahead and removed the clamps, and we've actually used some standard natural coloured grain filler here, so you can just make out those little dots where we actually drilled the hole, and you can just see where the crack was because we've filled it. You can see where it was particularly bad right as we come around the corner, and then around to the back of the guitar you can see how large it actually was, and there's some more just general scrapes and bumps as well. So that's the first fill of grain filler we've done. So we're going to leave that to dry overnight, and then we're going to come back with a second coat of grain filler, and we're going to dye that a much darker colour to try and fill in more of the gaps and just get it to blend in with the original colour of the wood. And there's amber lacquer on top as well, so you might give it a quick flash coat once everything is dried and that. But that's the crack repaired. The wood doesn't move at all in any places, which is fantastic. So we're going to move on to the rest of the guitar now, and we'll come back to this piece periodically just to keep darkening it and trying to blend it in. So the next process we're going to do is we're going to level, crown and polish these frets. You can kind of see a lot of deep dings, especially here on the high E and B strings. So we've covered this in lots of our other videos before. So we're going to level the frets, we're going to crown them and polish them, dress the fret ends and that. So we're going to bring you back when that process is finished. As I said, if you're interested in seeing that, if you check out most of our other videos, you'll see the whole process being done from start to finish. So we'll just bring you back after the frets have been done. Change of plan. Quick version of how to do a complete fret job. So step 1, tape up the fretboard. Step 2, we put marker pen over the top of all the frets. Step 3, we level the frets. Check your progress. You can see most of those dings are nearly gone now. Clean the dust off. Remark the frets. We crown the frets. We dress our fret ends. We continue the round over using various grits of sandpaper. Then we clean, condition and oil the fingerboard. And here you can see the difference between machine heads that have been cleaned and one that hasn't. So there is our crack repaired. It actually starts about here. As you come along you can just about kind of make it out. It's just slightly darker than the rest of the wood. I'm trying to catch it in the light here. As the light bends around the corner you can just make it out here, where we've had to stain the wood and try and get it all to blend in. And just there you can see the crack following the grain of the wood where we've repaired it, and it's absolutely completely strong now. No movement of the wood at all, and almost as good as new. We've cleaned up the binding around the top as well, just to help it blend in. We've taken down some of the lacquer on the back of the neck to smooth it up. There's a lot of chunks of lacquer gone and it was very rough feeling on the neck. We've seen us polish the frets and that. We've given it a complete clean up, gotten rid of a lot of the crud that was around here. We've cleaned up the top as much as we can. You can still see a lot of lacquer checking and stuff here and wear marks, and we've tried to clean up what we can around here. You can still see they're slightly off colour, and here as well. But the guitar's looking a lot cleaner, a lot brighter. Where the lacquer had yellowed all around the binding and stuff, that's all been cleaned, so it has a nice fresh bright white look to it. So we're going to string her up now and get her ready to give back to her owner, and that'll be it. So this is the guitar strung back up and ready to go back to its owner. We've given her a good clean again, and we tried to do what we could with these areas here. And as we saw on top here, we've done our crack repair. We've cleaned up the binding. We've leveled, crowned and polished the frets. As I said, she's back in good shape now and ready to go back to her owner.